저는 스테판입니다. 영국 사람이에요. 한국어 학생이에요. 만났어? 반갑습니다. Okay, hello everyone. So, my name is Stephanie and I'm going to talk you through my 11 months of utter suffering. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to give you the tips that I have used in order to learn Korean in this short space of time. So these tips have really helped me personally, and I'm not saying that I'm the best speaker, which I'm not. I'll probably give you a little example of my terrible language skills, but I just wanted to share my experience in this short 11 months with you guys. So here they are. Last year, which was 2014, I could not speak a word of Korean, as in all I knew how to say was 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다, which I learned from the dramas. So yeah, that doesn't count. But anyways, so I was at work. This was whilst I was doing my internship, so I was basically actually doing work. And I was kind of like, secretly surfing the web, pretending I was doing work. I came across a Korean film festival. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Korean Film Festival. And I went onto the website and I saw the Korean Cultural Centre. I was thinking, I didn't know there was a Korean Cultural Centre in London. But anyways, yeah. So I go onto the website and I see they do a whole list of things like festivals, they do educational programs, short courses, and I was thinking, why did I just hear about this now? I was looking on the programs that they did and I saw that they did a language program at the Korean Cultural Centre in London. I got really excited, but I was trying to still pretend that I was doing work, of course. And so I saw that they had an opening. This was around December time. So I was looking around, hoping no one could see me. I saw that they had an application and the deadline was in like 5 days, so luckily I saw it then. And so I filled in my details and we had to do a little essay about why they should choose us for the program, because there was a long waiting list, of course, and there was only 20 spaces available. So I didn't really think I was going to get it, but I was being optimistic. So I filled my essay, talked about how passionate I was about Korean culture and how I love the language, and I think it's such an amazing language and history, and yeah, I just poured my heart and soul into the application. But anyways, so I had forgotten about this application now, and then a few weeks later I get an email from the Sogang Language Institute at the Korean Cultural Centre saying that I had been accepted onto the course. At that point I was literally like, okay, what do I do? Anyway, so yeah, that was all the way in January 2015, sorry. So I remember my first lesson. Oh, actually, before we started, we got an email saying that we had to learn Hangul. I was like, what's Hangul? What's that? But that's the Korean alphabet. And that took me actually a day to learn and a week to memorize. It's pretty straightforward, it's not hard, it's not complicated. There's like 20, I can't remember exactly. But anyways, yeah, the Hangul was the easiest part. But anyways, I remember my first day, came in, there was like 19 of us, and I was so shy because I was thinking I do not know anything about Korean language apart from what I hear and see in the dramas. So I didn't think I was going to make it. But we were introduced to our 선생님, our teacher. She then taught us how to introduce ourselves. So 안녕하세요. 저는 스테판입니다. 영국 사람이에요. 하지만 한국말 할 수 있어요. Well, we learned that bit a little bit later in the semester. But yeah, actually the course was really good. In the first semester we learned how to introduce ourselves. We learned like loads of different verbs and adjectives and also grammar. Grammar is like an intense part of the Korean language which differs to English. Because in Korea, it's like subject, object, verb, but then in English is subject, verb, object, if that makes sense. So it was kind of like, which one do I use? But yeah, the course really prepares you for this. And something new was amazing. Notice how I call her something new because I don't actually remember her full name. So I'm going to show you the books that we used in our first and second semester. So this, I don't know if you can see it, this is the book that we used in the first semester. So it's the Sogang Hanguko. I don't even know. This is the Sogang Korean student book. So this is the one we use in class. And it's quite useful actually. It has like conversations, scenarios. For example, this is a cinema scenario. Like you could use this when you go to the cinema. And we learned how to count in also days of the week, how to send emails, some of those. Also make an appointment, like with your friends, or if you can't attend. We also learn like how to say, like I like this, I don't like this, like 좋아해요, 싫어해요. And then there's also like situations, I don't know if you can see it, sorry. Also like asking for directions, like 어디에서 운동해요? 체육관에서 운동해요. 한수 씨는 월요일에 뭐 해요? Like, what are you doing on 월요일에? Whatever day of the week that is. Yes, it's quite good. And then for homework, we were given this workbook. So each week we would get homework, like long homework, as in the first semester actually it wasn't that bad. Homework was substantial, like it was okay. But then in the second semester it was like, whoa, why are we getting so much? So then it was like, yeah, you can do it. Like fighting. Okay. But yeah, so every week we got homework. Homework was quite good actually because she made us write out the words rather than doing it straight from the workbook. So that was quite helpful in my writing, I found, because I was able to then like naturally spell things, you know. So that was the student book. Still Sogang Korean student book. Oh, another useful thing was this mini grammar book actually. So I'd always carry this in my bag. Like whenever I was on the train, I would always like be reading like the grammar. It really explains the grammar because we learn a lot of formal grammar, and yeah, it really explains it. So this is quite useful as well. You can buy this from Amazon. Actually, I'll put a link in this video of where you can get these books. Oh, so in the third semester, it got a bit difficult because we now had learned like honorifics and a whole bunch of other sentences. So we were able, we were very able. But so we moved on to so the first one was actually 1A, and this is 1B, so it's like now you're advanced. So this is the 1B book. This 1B book we didn't get to finish because I think it's kind of like a moving on into an intermediate class, but we did do the first few things, and this kind of made me realize how much we learned because we were now able to, doing like old homework, we were now able to construct sentences. Like if we were going to a shop, we can, you know, say, oh, we want a long skirt or a short skirt, or this is too big, this is too small, you know. Also, we learn honorifics that can explain something that somebody's parents was doing, or like somebody else using honorifics. Like seyo and shosseyo, like 어머니가 음식을 드셨어요. Like my mom ate breakfast. Yeah, like we were able to say things like that. And sorry, I want to read this conversation. It's so funny. Basically, it's like in a working situation, somebody was sick, and the director is like saying things like, "Oh, you should go home," but yeah, it's just really cool. Like, so there was conversations where, for example, if you're in a working environment, I don't know where I would be in a working environment that I would use this, but anyways, you're in a working environment and you're sick, for example. So we learned the formal, honorifics way of saying this. So, for example, this one. So the director was like, 어디가 아팠어요? And she was like, 네, 열이 나요. 혹시 감기에 걸리셨어요? And she's like, 네, 감기에 걸렸었어요. And then the director's like, 그럼 오늘은 일찍 집에 갔어요. 그리고 푹 쉬세요. And then she's like, 네, 감사합니다. It's just really cool, like, where you'd use this kind of scenarios. But yeah, so this was the 1B, so this is like for intermediate level. And it's also got a handbook with it, so a grammar book, portable, so you can carry this in your bag, just read it on the train. Yeah, so that was the Sogang Language course in the Korean Cultural Centre in London. Applications are actually opening this December. Today is December the 12th, and I will put a link down below so you can, if you wanted to sign up for the course. I think it's very useful. I'm not the best Korean speaker, like I said, but it really has taught me a lot, and I feel like if I was to go into a situation where it was just Korean people, I will be able to communicate. So that could be you.